Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So a little bit of background here. So I'm 27, and over the last few years have begun to come into an inheritance at the same time that my birth family has resurfaced. It's become a little bit tricky as a result there, just because, I always knew I was dealt an amazing hand, but, kind of seeing, what could have been has been pretty emotionally jarring. So I'm wondering, number one, what's the responsible way to handle this? Because I don't think doing nothing is an option, but at the same time, want to make sure that I kind of do justice to my grandfather and my parents who have kind of changed my life and my family's life, putting me in this situation.
So tell me a little bit more. When you say your birth family, are you adopted?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay. And so your adoptive grandfather, he's the one who's leaving you the inheritance?
So I was adopted at birth to a family. So they're who I consider, my family, because I grew up with them. So that side of the family is where the inheritance is coming from.
Okay.
Birth family is, found out I was the oldest of a sister who's 19 and pregnant, and then two other male siblings, and then my birth mom, of course.
Gotcha. And how much money are we talking here?
So my grandpa was smart, so he stepped it in around metrics like graduation date and age and a couple of things. So it's up to $750,000 now.
Okay.
It'll likely cross over $1 million in the next few years.
So it's pretty significant. Tell me why you feel, or where the feelings are coming from, that you have some sort of allegiance, or you owe, or you need to put some money on the table for your birth siblings.
I think it's, that old adage, right? To whom much is given, much is expected.
That adage doesn't apply here at all. Not even close. That's what a guilty person tells themselves.
Yeah.
Why do you feel guilty?
I think especially, being the oldest sibling, kind of seeing, I think my sister, probably has the drive to kind of get her life on track. So it's wanting to support, I saw my parents and my grandfather do, good things with kind of the situation that they created and put themselves in. So I'm kind of navigating, I know I could make a difference, and it wouldn't necessarily change my day to day. So it just hasn't seemed reasonable at this point to do nothing. But then there's also been some stuff initially that, I tried to give that, didn't necessarily go where I wanted it to, in terms of my mom kind of birth mom kind of repurposing some of that in a way that was less than ideal, and it didn't actually get to my sister. So,
well, that's the thing, is you have no control of this money once it's given. Zero.
And bro, you are setting yourself up for a catastrophic world of hurt. I 1000% agree with you. I'm just trying to put myself in your shoes. If I found out I had a whole other family and I got adopted by a family who was so great, and they took me in, and they, like you said, like I had an amazing life and I won the lottery, and my other brothers and sisters were adopted out and they did not get the shake that I got, I would feel a sense of I owe or obligation. And I need you to hear me say, you don't owe anybody anything. You can choose to give. And those are two very different motivations. If you think you owe, you are constantly going to be, it's a bottomless pit. It's a hole that can never be filled. If you say, hey, I won the lottery with my adoptive family, I got such amazing life, and I want to do that for other people, then that's when you can sit down with your sister, and very similar to how your grandpa did it, who's very wise. Hey, sister, when you're ready, I'm going to pay for college tuition, but I'm going to pay directly to the school. When you're ready, I will cover 3 years of daycare for your kids so you can get ahead financially, but I'm going to pay directly. I'm not going to give that money to anybody. You can love them deeply and support them, and also recognize that they're terrible money managers. All three of those things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to give your mom $25,000 when she doesn't have the skills to handle $25,000, because then you're going to end up resenting her, and that's not fair to her. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way, but that does make a lot of sense.
you'll hand her a live snake, she'll get bit, and then, you know what I mean? Like, you gave her the snake. Like, I wouldn't do that. And you're going to have to weather people coming out of the woodwork for your money.
You're about to be Bank of Peyton once they find out that you're just giving away money like a game show. And they're going to be coming back.
And Peyton will bail us out, and how dare you? And, oh, you got this. And
you did it last time. Why not now? Why are you so stingy now?
Can't believe you don't even remember your raising. You don't even remember where you came from, right? They're not your real family. You're going to hear all that stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Have they asked for money, or is this just your own survivor's guilt talking?
So that's the thing. My mom, before I found out she was doing things I didn't want with it, she would make up excuses, but my sister has always pushed it away. You know, she's on her own. She's got, you know, a newborn, obviously very young. And that's kind of where, you know, that almost makes you want to give more, right? Because she has a similar thing of like, you know, you don't owe me anything. I just want to have, you know, the relationship.
Is she a single mom?
Like, yeah.
And what needs does she have right now that you feel like you could help with?
The kid has special needs. So I know that's like they're below poverty line. So it's such a stark contrast.
So is that child care? What would you exactly help with versus just writing a check?
That's what I was thinking.
A grocery gift card? What would you want to do?
I think childcare would be the most impactful thing because it would free her up to kind of take the steps necessary to stabilize her life, whether that be education or.
Can she do that living in your birth mom's home?
So they live in a different state than I do currently.
No. But can your sister thrive under your mom's roof?
Oh, no. They have a very toxic relationship.
So maybe offering an apartment like down the street from, I don't know how much money you want to put on the table here, and I don't know what you do for a living. I'd want you to make sure you invest this thing so you're taking care of yourself and your future family long term. But I'm with George. I think you if you throw a checkbook at a problem, often everybody loses, right? It just becomes full of waste, and it becomes full of, well, what about this? And I feel like this. When you spend money to solve a particular problem, you get different kind of results.
Yeah.
I will pay for you to move, and I will pay for 1 year of an apartment right down the street from me, and that's going to cost $25,000. I'll put that on the table if you want to get out of mom's house. Now we're talking, right?
Yeah.
And that's a finite cost, and she doesn't have to feel guilty for just being on the take forever. But it's an actual problem being solved right now.
Yeah.
The more specific you get, the better. And you can remain in control if you do what John said and go, I'm going to give directly to the need versus just throwing a check at it. But you're a noble guy, and
yeah,
I got nothing but respect for you, man. Good luck with your decision.
You don't owe anybody anything. You get to give. And that's a totally different spirit.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.